The following is for mature audiences only. Episodes will contain coarse and explicit language and very serious subject matter. Some discussions will include talk of mental illness, violence, racism, self-harm, but not limited to. Such conversations may also include audible graphic descriptions. Viewer discretion is advised. Hi everyone, welcome to Opinions. Full video and audio episodes can be seen on patreon.com/The Opinions Show. But of course we do have all the other social media that is mandatory if you prefer. Enjoy the show. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one, and so do I. Welcome to the talk show called Opinions, where we choose a random word from the dictionary. If you've got video, you can see my co-host holding up a dictionary currently. And that is how we start every episode of this show, of this project, of this whatever you want to call it. Podcast, video, vlog, idea, I don't know. Hopefully you'll be educated along with me and you'll enjoy what we're talking about. We don't know what we're talking about. It's all improvised. We've called this a comedy show. I don't know if it's going to be funny. Maybe you'll be laughing at us. I truly don't care. As long as you're laughing, that is the goal, because that is what it's all about. So if you don't know who I am, go watch the pilot episode. I talk a little bit about myself there, but not too much. It's more about the content, not so much the person, which is ironic because that's the content. Anyways, moving right along, I think you already have the idea of how this show is going to go. It's very random. So, if you are watching video right now, you'll see that we are in a public setting right now. We are actually at the Bump and Grind Cafe in Vancouver, British Columbia. They have graciously donated this recording location for us. So there's a lot of great cafe noises happening. Hopefully that makes it more interesting for you. So thank you to Bump and Grind. Bump and Grind, I will mention. Now, they've donated the location to us, but they are not sponsoring this project. I will mention that to you, just to tell you a difference about that. But what I will tell you about Bump and Grind is they're not just a cafe. No, they are also a thrift store, and they have an amazing washroom as well. If you don't believe me, you gotta come down here. The washroom looks like one of the seasons of the year. It's amazing. Maybe we'll post some pictures. I don't know. But, you know, the Bump and Grind Cafe is also a thrift store. They sell a bunch of random stuff. They are an all-inclusive cafe, so everyone here is welcome, except for horrible human beings. And I know the tag of this show is, you know, it's an opinions show, because we're all assholes, because we all have one. But, you know, there's a difference between that and actually being a horrible human being. If you just hate for no reason, don't come here. Really, you're going to be laughed out of here. So it's a very safe space to be in, very warm, very welcoming. There's great couches, as you can see from the video. And so this place is also, like I said, a thrift store, and they sell random stuff. Like this crystal growing green box. I don't know what the hell this is. Is this a thing for... when did this come out? Anyways, grow your own crystals. Which, of course, is just, you know, for fun, because we all know that crystals are meaningless and they don't do anything. Yes, it might make you feel calm, but, I mean, placebo effect, that's what you want to feel. Prove me otherwise, because, you know, all the cancer, it's, you know, solving. That's why there's no cancer anymore, right? Right? Yeah, that's why it works so well. Nothing against it, do it. Just, you know, maybe eat your vegetables, too. They're also a board game cafe, so you can play board games. Personally, you know, you might not like board games, but it might be in the name, but I don't think they're boring. So anyways, that wheezy laugh you just heard is, my co-host for a few episodes. Co-host, will you introduce yourself, please?
Sure. My name is Cinder. I like long walks on the beach. How are you?
Is that all you like on a date? Is just long walks on the beach?
Well, that's what I like to start with, and then a romantic dinner, maybe, and then some wine, and then dessert will be in the bedroom, of course, with vegetables and whipped cream, or not vegetables, but fruits like strawberries.
Let's back up a little bit. You said a few things that are interesting to me.
Okay.
First of all, what are we eating?
What are we eating? Well, let's see. Probably, I like a lot of pasta, so it'd be like a chicken Alfredo.
Ooh, yeah.
Or, with a Caesar salad.
Yeah.
On the side, and with a glass of wine.
Is it really a Caesar or is it a Kaiser?
No, it's a Caesar. I make like homemade Caesar, like the garlic.
Oh, we're doing dinner at your place.
Well, yeah, we're not going out for dinner.
No, but then we have to go for a walk on the beach. Is that like after dinner or before dinner?
Oh, well, we'll figure that part out when it's done. I usually like it after dinner because then it's something like, your food can digest when you're walking. Then you can go to the bedroom, bring in the dessert, which is strawberries and whipped cream and chocolate that are edible. You can pour on the body.
Right. Sure. Amazing. Okay. Now you mentioned wine. What kind of wine are we talking?
Oh, I'm a white wine. I like a good fruit, kind of almost like a champagne, but not. But it's still kind of got a good taste to it. Not much of a red wine.
Okay. That's your favorite kind of wine.
Yeah, I can't tell you like a type of name brand or anything. As long as it's white, I'll probably drink it.
Racist.
No, nothing against red. I've never found a good red wine that I like yet.
Do you guys understand the tone of the show now? The jokes? Yeah. Welcome to the show. So, wine.
Wine.
Do you want to know my favorite wine? I feel left out.
Okay, well, what's your favorite wine, darling?
Well, now it's a little late to be asking me that.
Sorry.
Okay, ask me anyways.
Okay, what's your favorite wine?
Please don't kill me.
Okay. Red?
I just told you.
Please don't kill me.
Yeah.
That's your favorite wine?
Yeah.
Oh my god, is that a joke or is that a...
No, that's a joke. Like when Italians make wine, you're like, what's your favorite wine? He's whining. Oh, please don't kill me because it's Italian. And anyway,
wow.
It really didn't work. I'll admit that's a joke that I didn't come up with, which is why it's so bad. I heard that like decades ago.
Wow.
I'm paraphrasing that joke. It's an old joke.
I never heard that one
but
before.
I'm old.
Which not that much older than me.
27?
Yeah, 38.
Can't believe you just admitted that.
I'm proud of my age. I'm almost 40.
That's your fault, not mine.
I know.
Jesus Christ on a stick. Okay, so now that we've done all that, do you want to say anything else about yourself?
Oh,
here at the moment, not
yeah.
Like a lot's obviously going to come out as we're talking, because it's not just about what's in dictionary, right? As you know, that's how we start each episode. But it's also like it's free form, free flowing, right? We're just gonna rap. We're gonna, very 60s. We're just gonna go for it. But anything else before we really get into her?
Yes, actually, thank you. So I actually prefer the pronouns they and them. I don't have a really a gender that I really associate with because sometimes I dress like a woman, sometimes I dress like a man. So you never know what you're going to get with me, but it's going to be appropriate to some degree.
But like an ugly woman?
No, honey, I'm never ugly.
Or like a pretty man?
No, like a pretty woman.
Because like somebody once thought my mother was a man.
Well, that's sad for your mother.
Right. So I mean, explain that one to me.
Well, let's just say I do drag for a living, so my aesthetic is pretty much bang on. I can pass as a female.
Right, so what if I asked you, or if I introduced you and said, oh, this is my friend Cinder, who's a female impersonator?
Oh, that's perfectly fine.
Is that all you impersonate?
Well, no, I impersonate a lot of things.
Like a decent human being?
Well, Cinder has she's more quick-witted and more in your face about things, but like appropriately done.
Time and place.
Yeah, exactly. Always. And depends on how many cocktails she's also had.
Yeah, okay.
And she's more in the bar setting. But like, I actually wanted to be here for the first episode in drag, but kind of forgot that when I moved my house around, that somebody was staying in our spare bedroom where my closet is with all my drag. That's a walk-in closet, so I can get dressed in there. I didn't have a walk-in before, so now I do.
If any walk-ins are listening to this, feel free. We'd love to have you as a guest. Anyone with the name Walk-in.
Walk-in. Or last name with Walk-in.
Yeah.
Should we pick a word?
Ooh, let's open the dictionary randomly. And we'll pick a word at random. Just stick your finger in the middle.
In the middle? Okay.
And then read the whole thing beginning and nice and loud into the microphone so our lovely viewers Stay tuned in. And go.
Pernicious. I don't even know how to say this word.
This is not starting off well, ladies and gentlemen, and others.
Pernicious. Pernicious. It's an adjective, very harmful, from the Latin. Oh, if I hear you read this, I picked that word.
Girl.
The pernicious.
Oh, you said that right.
Oh.
Okay, so the first word for the very first season, for the first official episode of Opinions, is pernicious. Adjective, meaning very harmful. From the Latin word
Yeah, that's where I got
Pernicious,
Oh, see, I would never have got that.
which means destruction.
Oh.
So, like, can I use that word if I'm, like, hitting it really good in the bedroom and just, like,
You whispered into
I
somebody's
just
ear?
destroyed her?
Right.
Could I say, I was so pernicious on that pussy? Because I'm just saying, that's, like, a nice, like...
Well, that's maybe a different way of saying, like, you pounded the pussy.
Yeah, I smashed it, right?
Smashed. I'm like...
Because isn't that, like, an allegory? No, it's not an allegory.
It's something.
It's a good... Like, when you use the same word, the same letter, you know...
I like it.
Popping porcupines, pickled peppers.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Right? Stuff like that.
Great.
I don't have two hands right now because one of them is busy. But you want to underline that word for me because we don't want to do the same word again. You know, that's the thing. We don't want to do that word again.
There you go.
Now, yeah. Yeah, just drop it like it's hot.
Dropping it.
Cool, put that down. You know, my book here. All my notes are done. So, pernicious, that's interesting. Now, by the way, everybody, if you're listening to this and not sure what the hell is going on, we are drinking beverages. I've got a lovely cappuccino.
I've got a London fog.
Mm-hmm. Oh, cheers.
Cheers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I've also got a cookie. Because I'm a cookie monster.
Cookie Monster.
I like cookies.
Or are you sure it's cookies and not cock? Alright. Yeah, I went there.
That was quick. We're already talking about cock.
Sorry.
I mean, you know, I love soup.
Well, what kind of soup?
Cock flavored soup.
Wow.
Have you seen this in the grocery? Have you been to the grocery store?
I work at a grocery store. Hello.
That's your fault, not mine. No, but okay, I don't know the brand. I think it's called Knowles, right? And they have these packets, these like soup packets, as you know.
Yeah, like
right?
It's a noodle.
Right, but I think it's called Knowles, Knoll. I could be wrong on this brand, but
right. Okay, I know what you mean.
Kid you not, you go in and take a look. They've got different flavors of soup, right? They've got 3 main flavors, and you guys can go online and take a look. You'll see this. It's ridiculous, right? So they've got beef.
Okay.
This is where it gets weird.
Cock for chicken?
No. Chicken. And then right beside it, cock.
/ cock, right?
No.
Or cock is a
Chicken
flavor?
flavor? Cock is a flavor.
Well, cock is a rooster.
Thank you. You are the only person I've told this who has understood what I mean. And what the company means. And you know what? 'Cause I'm pretty sure the company is from the East. And there is a huge difference.
Well, yeah. I mean...
Nobody understands this here.
Well, I'm not even from the East Coast. I'm from Alberta, and I even know the difference.
Well, I'm talking like Far East.
Like Nova Scotia?
Go across the water.
Europe
and China.
Oh, okay. I'm like, yeah. Canadian-born, Canadian, lived, not really much traveled.
No, but that's okay. But you knew more than most people do. So because there is... so the question really is, to a certain extent, right? They're all chickens, but which one are hens and which ones are roosters?
Well, roosters are the ones
That's the difference.
Roosters are the ones that do the cock-a-doodle-doo when they wake you up at 6 in the frickin' morning or whatever.
Well, yeah, exactly. But the misconception is that they're all chickens.
They're not. They look like a chicken because they have the chicken
body. Well, they are a chicken. It's just
the male version of
hens and there's roosters.
Well, hens are lay eggs. Chickens
exactly.
You know,
right? Like, but they're both chickens.
Well, yes.
Right? It's like we're both human. I'm attractive, and you're here as well.
Ouch.
That's the
So this is where we're cutting in, right? It's okay.
So
that was well done.
You know, it's
Ow. That stung. I don't know what to say to that.
Pause for laughter. Cookie!
Yeah, you take a bite of your cookie.
It tastes so dry.
It's chocolate chip, though. You never got it warmed up, though. It came out cold.
Didn't we warm this up?
No.
Didn't you ask?
No, I just... Yeah.
No, it's good.
It's dry, though. Oh, yeah, look.
If you can see the video right now, you can watch me tonguing this cookie.
Oh, it's so hot. Oh, yeah. Choke on it.
Do you see where the level of the comedy is here for the show?
Well, you got it like a drag queen who's not in drag.
Wait,
here, me.
Are you?
Yes.
I didn't know this.
I'm a well-known queen. I'm not. Oh, but I'm also. But I'm also not.
How are you known? That's the question.
I'm also not a well-perceived queen within Vancouver, but that's okay.
Yeah, but people's perceptions are like, they're high half the time, anyways.
Well, they also don't know how to take what I say or the way that I come across can be very confusing to a lot of people. So
yeah, but you can say a lot when you're impersonating and get away with it more than people that aren't.
True.
It's just I think a part of the difficulty or looking at entertainment, when people have something, it's really difficult to explain to them that teamwork makes the dream work. So they're afraid you're going to take something away, right? It's like, God forbid, say you've got a gig somewhere. Whatever, entertainment, right? We're doing stand-up, I hate standing, which is why we're sitting, so I could never really do stand-up. But, what was I talking about?
Comedy, gigs.
Oh, yeah. So, I laugh every time I look in the mirror. So, I really don't know what people complain about. It's not that difficult.
It's really not.
It's really not. Do you want to know why I'm so funny?
Why?
Every morning I suck off a clown.
Who's the clown?
It's not the point. Does it matter who the clown is?
Well, some clowns are pretty funny, some clowns are pretty ugly.
Whoa, you're comparing ugliness to humor?
Well, sometimes there's some bad humor. That's not funny.
I thought you meant like physically ugly.
Oh, I don't care. They're a clown. They all look ugly to me. I'm a clown-ish, but
Speaking of clowns, let's talk about drag queens and makeup.
And let's do this. Come on.
I am pushing it right now, ladies and gentlemen, and those who have yet to make up your minds. So I think the difficulty with the entertainment aspect of it, especially when you're maybe, let's not say new, or maybe trying to get a hold of actually working. Because new doesn't necessarily new doesn't necessarily mean you're not working regularly, right? Because you could just hit the right tone, and it just works, and you get tons of work. Or you could do it for 40 years, and you're just not hitting the tone. But I think some people, not everybody, there's a section of people who, heaven forbid, let's say they've got a gig somewhere, right? Back to what I was saying. Stand-up comedy,
right.
In-house DJ, whatever it might be. I personally think as great as you are, there's not many people that can hold attention on their own as an individual. Usually it's a duo thing, right?
It can be.
But heaven forbid, say you do 10 shows a week.
I have.
Heaven forbid you give away 2 shows to someone else. It's ridiculous, and they feel attacked, and then they attack you. But it's not about them.
Well,
just the club or bar wants other people because it's a mixed variety, right?
Yes.
You want to advertise. It's a bigger group to advertise.
It also depends on the type of people that you bring in. So, that's the thing. Is if you're following for drag queens, it depends on how many people that are following you or will attend to any of your shows. So, if you bring in a big crowd, you're going to guaranteed get that gig. If you don't bring in a big crowd, you're not going to get that gig. Unless you can somehow change your branding of how you are approached.
And that is true for any entertainer.
Well, yeah.
But I think if you look at a double act, it can be funnier almost and easier.
Well, it can be because you have someone to feed off of.
Yeah.
I've done that.
People want that sometimes. But some people get really offended when the club owner says, we're going to bring in a second person. We want you to make a show together. And they just can't work together. But I think a part of it
is because they're too much into themselves. That's why.
Well, and I think it goes with yes and no. Well, yes, but there's two parts to it. In some aspects, it's either because they're too into themselves, and there's so many reasons why.
Well, yeah.
I think one of the reasons, technically, or from like an entertainment perspective, is sometimes it's natural. Other times, like when you talk about drag, there's a huge set of people who fall into it for a multitude of reasons, but they don't. There's a smaller set of people who do it because they were trained in entertainment. So sometimes, when you get people that aren't trained, and they say, well, work with this person, they don't know how to create a show with another person yet, because they're not used to it. They're not used to working on that sort of writing.
Oh, yeah.
They're used to just being so, like, well, I never actually went professional to, like, in the regards of never went to school to be trained. And so you're not used to that aspect of it. But then again, it can go the other way as well. I just find that drag, there's a large population of people. It's the type of specific niche of entertainment where it's more of a natural thing. It's not like a planned out course for people because it's such a personal thing.
Yeah.
And so you're not thinking about, well, how do I learn to be a writer? And a lot of it is just people learning who they are and reacting with the community and basing their performances and shows off of that sometimes. So I think that sometimes is missing the aspect of the technical side.
Yeah,
which is why it can be difficult, I think, for people in drag to work together sometimes unless they're already friends.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's a great point. I mean, I'm one of those individuals that I think I struggle with working with others at times, but even though I'm a theater background and I'm a dance background, so I have the ability to work with others and to collaborate, but I have a hard time when push comes to shove. I do stumble on working with others if I'm throwing into it without giving a heads up on things. Like, you can't just tell me last minute, oh, you're going to be working with this person, good luck. I don't do very well with, in a sense, because then it's I become kind of awkward because I'm socially awkward when it comes to working with other people because of not knowing who they are, and even if it's somebody I do know and that's been thrown into working with them, can also throw me off as well. And I've had that happen, but most people are also better at performing than I am in things, and so I'm more harder on myself when it comes to doing drag. I think that's why a lot of times people don't know how to perceive me.
Well, perception is 9/10 of the law.
That's true.
I don't know what I just said. I'm not a lawyer. But I play one on TV, though.
Oh, fabulous.
Yeah, you might recognize me from such shows as... we're not going to go into my resume.
No.
It's interesting. There's some thoughts there that you said, because I guess the question, there's two ways you can look at it. Is it sometimes... I think when you're talking about clubs and pubs and such...
Well, there's a certain, demand of, what is allowed at those for, performance-wise. Usually you have to be, up to date with, the pop songs, and you need to be, I don't know, you just have to be able to, work your crowd very well. And there's times that, I can be on my A game, and I'm being tipped well, everything's going smooth, and that's working with somebody as well as hosting a show. I'm a little bit a dark queen, I guess you can say, because I like to take everything and I can make anything when I'm in drag. And I mean anything that shouldn't be taken to the dark end of sexually, I can do that. I don't know why or how, it's just something that I can do.
A lot of comedians do this.
But I mean,
how to do it, right?
Oh, but see, that comes natural though. I can take most things.
No, I know, you're like that. We've known each other a few years now, and I know your comedy is... you can't... The thing is, you can joke about anything. It's just time and place, but it's also... that's all it is.
I guess done. I just have to know, it's not reading my crowd very well. That's the thing, I have to do more. It's I need to know from the audience, how far I should be able to go, depending on who's there. And that's where I kind of lack in.
But I think eventually, people will come to you that like you. You shouldn't necessarily have to reach to the crowd.
But see, that's part of the thing, though. It's you need to go out. You can't just have your small crowd. You need to work the whole community, because the community is what really...
Well, that takes time.
Well, I've been doing it for 20 years, and I'm still...
the thing is, it takes on average 20 years.
Well, yes, but I'm also tiring.
It's tired.
Yeah, like I said, I'm pushing 40, and I'm loving the fact that I'm pushing 40. But I'm also like 20 years of doing drag, and I'm like really tired of doing drag. But it's something that I am passionate about.
It's
still
more the performance, let's say.
If I can just go into a show,
can I say that or ask you actually? Is it more the performance aspect as opposed to the drag? Now that you've done it for so long, because when you started, it was obviously emotionally a different thing than it is now. So, do you think the reason you do drag has changed?
Well, yeah.
The reason it's changed why you're doing it. And to me, it sounds like now it's more on you just enjoy entertaining as opposed to maybe the original.
Well, I was using drag as a way to like figure out my identity as like who I was as an individual, because I struggle with like my gender and just like how I wanted to be, like what I should physically look like. I wanted to look like more like a woman, and went on hormones. I was approved to get top surgery done. Then I didn't go for it, and so there's a lot of different things that kind of played into it. And I mean, for some people, not for everyone, but when they're doing drag, it's a way for them to figure out if they want to transition. And some queens have, and there's some really good, famous drag queens in this world who have fully took drag, and then it elevated them to become their true identity, which is to become trans. And then from there, and they still built themselves up,
and that's interesting you saying that, because there is a difference. If I can point out drag versus a transition, drag, it helps you to see what you might look like, right? It's like me putting on a tiara. Okay, I know what I might look like if I'm an actual princess. This is what I'd look like in a tiara.
Well, yeah.
Right? It's like but that doesn't mean that you're going to necessarily change into that.
Well, and that's what I said.
But it just happens to be that this is one way to see it. And I like that, because there can be a difference. And there is a difference.
There's a huge difference.
And there's so many multitude levels of it, right? If we talk about drag going back to the early days of humanity.
Well, yeah, that women were dressing as men, and men were dressing as women back then. I think there was more men who were posing as women, because there was, like, back in the day, there wasn't a lot of female roles, and so men would have to
dress up as women, because it was sexism.
Yeah.
And it's interesting if you look at really where it started, if I'm not mistaken with my history here, and I'm not going to say which culture because I'm going to get this wrong, but I can tell you the Brits.
Oh yes, the English did it first.
The thing is, if you were wealthy,
yeah,
you look at the wealthy class who had syphilis. Right? Why did they put makeup on? To cover the syphilis. It wasn't a fashionable thing. Why did they put on wigs? To cover the syphilis, their balding heads.
Right.
Right? Men were the one that wore high heels, for Christ's sake.
Right.
Oh,
yeah.
It was all about actually illnesses to cover up so people didn't realize.
Yeah, that they were sick.
That's why, in part, makeup was invented.
Yeah.
Is for that reason. And really, it was only if you had the money and if you were male. All of that started at that point, and then eventually it turned into a fashion, and then women wore it because, of course, women were also getting syphilis from the men because they were sleeping with their relatives who were rich because they wanted to keep the blood in the family of the royals, and so they kept inbreeding and really pushing the topic. We've gotten off topic.
No, we haven't.
No, we haven't. So what are we saying? Incest is best.
Hey,
no, it's not. I mean, I frankly could care less who you're screwing, but ideally don't reproduce with really close bloodlines, because that's going to cause problems potentially in the future. So I don't support it in that aspect.
I mean, I would do my second cousin, not my first cousin.
Yeah, but is your husband... The hell, my brain just stopped. I was going to say husband. But is your cousin...
My second cousin?
Okay, let's specify... Yes, the second cousin.
Because, like, your first cousin...
Can your second cousin become pregnant?
Yeah, yes, they can.
But, right. So, I mean, but that's not the reason you're doing it. Who the hell wants to reproduce anyways? Are you kidding me? Oh.
Well, some of us have already reproduced children and lost children, but that's a different topic.
That's a different discussion. But, I mean, intentionally, you don't usually... Well, I mean, the intent isn't to screw your cousin and get preggers.
Well, I mean, my cousin's also a male, though, so he won't really get pregnant. I mean...
We could try.
Well, yeah, we pretend that we get pregnant. We tell ourselves, oh yes, let's impregnate ourselves with our babies.
The weirdest saying I've heard this.
I know.
The thing is, I just like to murder my babies twice a day.
Oh, only twice a day?
It's exhausting. I've only got 2 hands.
Oh, that's when you get another person to help you.
I really need to change the content warning on this project. Because right now the content warning, I think, is so mild. Because it says there may be swearing and intense. No, I need to change this. This is really... We are...
Cheers.
Dark. Cheers. Cheers. Jesus Christ on a stick.
And yet, you're the one who's with all the one-line innuendos. Like,
I know.
You're leaving it open for me to take things so deep.
Yeah, but if I don't leave it open, how are you going to go deep? Oh my god, what am I doing?
Well, maybe later.
This discussion is not for children.
No.
Dark sense of humor. Really dark. And
Like
by dark, I don't mean a tan, because honestly, cancer in a box, Why are you paying for that shit?
I like cancer in a box,
And
but
whether
I
you
do.
like it or not, it's still not good for you.
Well, there's nothing in this world that's good for us.
Sex is good for us. Hi everyone, if you didn't already know, Opinions has new episodes every Monday. And if you'd like to watch the full video and audio episode, head over to patreon.com/The Opinions Show. Opinions is recorded live in Vancouver, Canada, and on location at the Bump and Grind Cafe, and is a production of atkafilms.com.